Hello Year 8, welcome back to online learning for Learning for Life. Hope you've had a restful break and a very happy new year to you all. Before we get going, please make sure that you've had a look at the Learning for Life live lesson ground rules. These have been shared with you via email and on Google Classroom. You now have a Google Hangout, so you can contact your teacher during timetabled lesson times and ask any questions. But please make sure you've read through these ground rules and we assume that you have agreed to them. Unless you have any queries or questions in which you can email your teacher directly. So let's get going. We were due to move on to a religious education topic, Introduction to Islam. We've tweaked that slightly to now give you a project to work on called the Mosque Challenge. So for today's lesson, I'm just going to introduce the first step. Let's have a little look. It says, hello Year 8, this is a step-by-step guide to your Learning for Life project, the Mosque Challenge. You must follow the steps 1 to 3 as directed by your teacher on Firefly and Google Classrooms. Please try not to do everything at once. Make sure that you are sticking to your 45-minute lesson slot. And if you get stuck or you need some extra time, then you can communicate that with your teacher. Read the information carefully. All of the instructions will be laid out to you in Firefly and Google Classroom. Watch the videos when it asks you to do so and follow the links to make sure that you get all the information that you need. You'll be asked to submit your work via Google Classroom and to show progress of your work and, of course, the final project. Make sure you take photographs. I'll explain more about this as we go along. Photographs would be a good idea. You can also do mini videos, but any way that you can record and evidence the work that you've been doing during Learning for Lifetime. Only use materials for your mosque, because essentially your project will be to build a mosque, but only do that using materials that you have available at home. Again, more explained on that later. We are looking for accuracy, creativity and resilience in this task. Can you overcome certain challenges and tasks of doing a creative project at home? Remember, if you do get stuck, you can email or message your teacher directly. So step 1, I'm just going to introduce to you a little bit about Islam. We talked quite a lot about Islam last year when we did Introduction to World Religions, but a little bit of information to get you started. So in Thailand, of course, Buddhism is the largest religion, and second is Islam. We're going to find out a little bit more about Islam by learning about the Muslim place of worship, the mosque. Step 1, to get you building your background knowledge on the topic, I'd first like you to watch the documentary My Life, My Religion, Islam. It's a 30-minute documentary about a young girl living in the UK who's a Muslim and talking about her experience of her religion. Using that information, I'd like you to create a mind map with the title Key Facts About Islam. Use the information from the documentary and use the information from the next 3 slides. I'd also suggest including information about the 5 pillars of Islam, which I'm going to explain a little bit more to you just now. So let's start off with who are Muslims. So Muslims are people who practice the religion of Islam. The community of Muslims throughout the world is called the Ummah. Around 85% of Muslims are Sunni and 15% are Shia. The community is often divided into 2 groups, majority being Sunni and the other group being Shia. There are also other groups like Sufi in Islam as well, but for this project we're going to focus on Sunni and Shia. Muslims use the word Allah for God. Those 2 words are interchangeable, you can use both. Almost a quarter of the world's population, about 1.5 billion people, are Muslim. Followers of Islam give themselves up to God and try to obey Him in all things. And remember, Muslims are from different races, nationalities and culture around the world. So where they live, how they've been brought up, their experiences and their nationality and their particular culture in their country will also have an influence on their religion and what they believe. There are 5 main ways in which Muslims worship. They are called the 5 pillars of Islam because they provide a framework for worship. It's kind of similar to pillars supporting a building. Muslims' worship is not separate from everyday life, but it's something that they do throughout their day-to-day life, a way to structure their life in order to please God. So here are the 5 pillars of Islam. There are 5 main ways to worship. You have the Shahada, which is a statement of belief. You'll learn more about that in the project. You have Salah, compulsory prayers 5 times a day. Zakah Here it says it's a payment made annually under law to people in need. You can also consider it to be like an almsgiving or charity, a way for Muslims to provide for people in their community. Saum, fasting over a period of 1 month during the Islamic month of Ramadan. And last but not least, Hajj, a pilgrimage or religious journey to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. So a little bit of information about 5 pillars of Islam. If I go back, your task for today, you can use these 3 slides to help you as well, but your main task for today is step 1, Introduction to Islam. Watch a 30-minute documentary and create a mind map with the title Key Facts About Islam. Remember, your teacher will be available to chat to you through Google Hangouts, so make sure you say hello and ask any questions throughout the project, and make sure you follow the instructions very carefully on Google Classroom. Best of luck.